Hey y'all, this is Anna Alexander and this is Dish About the Dish, where the foods we eat tell the stories of our lives. And today I'm starting a new segment on the channel where I celebrate one of my favorite shows, The Great British Bake Off. A couple of years ago, I had some medical things, surgeries needed to be done. It's all fine. But while I was convalescing, I would always put on The Great British Bake Off and just let it roll because it's so calming, even though it has this quiet intensity, but it's very soothing, and everybody on the show is just lovely. They all cheer each other on, they celebrate their successes, they commiserate when things don't turn out so well, and it's just one of those programs that is delightful. And so I want to pay homage to it, and I am going to try my best to recreate the technical recipes from every episode. So those of you who are not familiar with the show, the technical recipe is the second of the 3 bakes the contestants have to do, whereas they're not told ahead of time what it is they're going to make. So they appear in the tent that day, they are all given the recipe at the same time and the same set of hours to just go. And then those dishes are then blind tasted, judged, and then they figure out who did the best and who did not so well. So this shall be interesting. The parameters of this technical bake in my little world will be I am using the recipe from the show that is listed on the Great British Bake Off website. Link will be down in the description below. I have done my best not to read ahead of what the recipe, the instruction part of it. I've read just enough so I can get the ingredients to make sure I have them. Ooh, let me tell you, that is a challenge in and of itself. And I will be giving myself the same time frame as the contestants. So advantage me is, yes, I got to see the list of ingredients beforehand. I've watched the episode, I have a picture, so I know what the end product will be. However, the advantage of the contestants are they have most everything mise en place in this lovely, delightful little basket given to them. They also have all of the equipment that they will need. Also, I don't think that they have to do their own dishes, and they are most certainly not their own film and camera crew that will be moving and going as I'm baking. So I think overall we're gonna be pretty even as far as what we're able to accomplish and how. So here we go, starting with this current season, which is 2021. Cake Week is the first week, and this time Miss Prue gave us all the Malt Loaf, which is something I had never had before. I might have seen in passing, but it is quite the recipe, you all. As I was sourcing some of the ingredients for this recipe, I'm gonna have to get creative. We'll see how that works out. But I've been given 2 hours to create the Malt Loaf. So if Nolan Matt, if you should please.
On your marks, get set, bake.
Okay, so the first thing we always do is our mise en place. So it looks like here the oven does need to be preheated to 325. So I will get that maybe eventually. And that is in Fahrenheit. Thank you so very much. So we have boiled water. I will get the kettle on, and yes, I do have a kettle. Now we need some raisins, 200 grams of raisins. This says flame raisins. I have no idea what flame raisins are, but if I remember in the video, they were just regular raisins, so. Yes, I want it to be precise. There we go, 200 grams of raisins, 100 grams of prunes, finely chopped. Can you hear the kettle going already? Great! What's finely chopped of a prune? Because you don't want it mushy. There we go, okay. That's so sticky, I have to wash my hands. Okay. So here was the crazy one. It asked for malt extract. I cannot find malt extract in my area. And it wants 150 grams. Is that grams by weight or grams by not weight? And I don't have malt extract, but I do have malt whiskey. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. Oh, that seems like a lot. 150 grams. That's 30 grams right there by weight. By milliliters, it's It's 35 milliliters. I'm gonna set that one aside and see what we come up with later. I'm too scared for that one. So I'm gonna get my tea brewing because I saw the directions said 5 minutes for the tea to brew. Flavored tea. Oh! Asked for a strong black tea bag. I actually have a black whiskey flavored tea. I'm gonna go with that one. Still back to mise en placing. Okay, so I need 40 grams of black treacle, which, thank you Google, is molasses works just as well. Whenever I use molasses or honey or something sticky, I always kind of spray just a smidge so it kind of slides out better. Eggs. Now ideally I would have had these sitting out for a while to get to room temperature, but I didn't do that ahead of time, so hopefully I can get them not to be ice cold when it's time to mix. Okay, let's see where are we at. 147 left. Oh, I don't know about this, y'all. I don't know about all this, y'all. Okay. My tea is still teen. Covered in molasses. Microwave for 4 minutes. Okay. 144. Timing on this thing's wackadoo. While that is microwaving, I've got to tidy up some. Try not to burn your flesh while you're at it. It's not a pleasant smell. Wow. Now, my question is, a microwave involved. So how old is this recipe? Okay, here's the deal. It does say you can soak these overnight. So I'm guessing that was the original, however old this recipe is. The original intent is to soak your fruit overnight. Man, that smells. Cover, stir in the bicarbonate of soda. It's fizzing. Is it? Oh. Oh, and the smell is, It's fizzing and it smells. I don't know about this, y'all. I do not know. It smells so bad. Let it stand for 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna put it someplace way across the room. And we're going to melt our sugars and let those cool for 5 minutes. Low heat. I wonder if the malt extract is supposed to go in here. It doesn't say. Oh, it does say with that. Grams of liquid. I don't consider it cheating that I'm looking this up, what grams is in liquids, because I think they had it all mise en place ahead of time. That'd be a lot of malt. A lot of malt extract. This hurts me. This hurts me pouring this much whiskey into here. Oh no, and I poured too much. Actually, I poured too much, a lot too much. It's gonna be a good cake. Okay, this makes more sense. This should dissolve better. Okay, so this is when you have 8 timers going at once. I don't know how long ago I put that to the side. How many timers do they have available to them in the tent? Because this one I'm gonna set aside for 5 minutes once dissolved. The whiskey's hitting now. I feel a lot calmer all of a sudden. We're gonna sift our flour and our baking powder. So I'm gonna put things away, kind of tidy up a little bit more, and I'm gonna prepare my baking tin. Loaf tin. Don't know if it's 900 grams, but it's a loaf tin. So this whole malted extract thing is when I really wish I'd paid more attention when watching that episode. But when I was watching that episode, I didn't know I was really gonna try to recreate that recipe at the time. Oh wow. So this was, I think, what we would call in school a quick bread, like a zucchini loaf or banana bread, which is, you have your oil. So that's the funny thing is there's no oil in here. There's no oil, there's no butter. The only really thing giving it moisture would be the eggs and your fruit liquids. which may make it too moist and stodgy. I would think this would be a little stodgy, a little gummy when it comes out, but Prue likes it, so we'll go with it. But one of my favorites is banana bread. At Christmas time, I make it all the time, and I give it away as gifts, and I wrap it really pretty. I have started making zucchini bread for my grandma Josie, who you met before on the channel. It's my grandma Doris's recipe. My grandma Josie loves it, has me make it every year, and then complains when I make it. And that's part of the joy. Is to watch her complain saying, you should have used your grandma Doris's recipe. And I did. I think we're time to mix. This has had 5 minutes to cool. So I'm gonna triple check my recipe before I start dumping things in here. Add the warm malt fixture and the fruit. Fold everything together. Add the eggs, mix well, and then bake. Okay. It doesn't smell any better. Fold. We're folding. I wonder what the baking soda does for the fruit. What kind of science is that? Knowledge on that, I would love to hear it in the description below. Put it down in the comments. Why do we add baking soda to fruit? Now, also, this is quite warm, so I'm gonna actually stir it a bit, cool it down before I add my eggs. Now, this might smell differently if I actually had malt extract in it. I don't know. I do not know. Here we go. Into the tin. It's really heavy. Oh my god, my nose is way too close. Okay. This is so stressful. Okay, here we go. Into the oven. I have 1 1/4 hour. 1 1/4 hour in the oven, which means bake until done. And I've got 1:22 left on the clock. Don't know if that will give it time to cool, but we shall see. Now we clean up. I smell cake baking. 1:04 left, 1:04 left. I don't have an oven light to peek with. We got a loaf cake. We'll see how it goes. Alexa, off. That's been an hour of baking, so let's do the test. We'll do the test. Well, let's take a look. Looks like a loaf. Let's do a tester. Oh, that is baked. That is baked. That is baked. According to the directions, you're supposed to brush the top with more malt extract, which I don't have. I guess I could brush it with whiskey, but I'm afraid to right now. And this is baked. I'm afraid it might be over baked because there is nothing whatsoever sticking to this. However, how much time's left on the timer? So I've got 19 minutes and 36 seconds left of this bake where it has to cool before we put it on the board and present it for tasting. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. 329, 328, 327, 326, 325 minutes left of this bake. And basically now we're not baking, we're just trying to cool. I like that I can see fruit on the top, which is great. It means it didn't all sink to the bottom. It's the right color, but I think that's mostly because of the brown sugar and the molasses. I have no idea if it's gonna taste right though. Okay, so also in the recipe, it says that if you have time, you can wrap it in parchment and let it sit for 1 to 2 days to develop the flavor. Okay, somebody thought of that. Somebody actually said, hey, it tastes like this now. What happens if we let it sit for 2 days? Will it taste better? That just seems kind of weird to me. Yeah, way better when it's cool, and the next day. It looks a little short. It looks a little bit short, and I don't know if it's because of my baking pan or if something went wrong. But it feels like a loaf. That's a great timer. So here we are. Our finished product, the malt liquor, the Malt Loaf. So let's slice it up and we'll give it a try. On these quick bread loaves, my favorite part is actually the ends. I don't know why, but oh, look at all that fruit in there. That's quite a bit of fruit. And you know what? It doesn't smell any better baked. Now that I think about it, this probably would have had another 5-10 minutes to sit and cool out on the table while they were getting the shot ready for the blind judging tasting. So I probably cut into this a little bit too soon. But I'm here and I'm gonna give this a try. I have my Kerrygold butter on the top. I'm scared. Why am I scared? Let's see here. I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. I taste the fruit, which is good. The bread itself, it's really earthy. I think it's the molasses that's in it. I want it to be sweeter, like more brown sugar. Ooh, like a caramel top. I'm guessing you would eat this with your tea. But I want something sweet to be added onto this. And I don't know if that's my palate or that's the way that this tastes. It's not something I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to make this again. No, I think this will be good for me. But while I do not have Paul and Prue, I do happen to have 2 teenagers who are willing to give this a try. So let's see what they think. Give it a try.
Cheers. Ding ding. There's butter all over my finger. It's not for me.
It's good. I like it.
It's not for me.
I mean, there's the fruit in it. Obviously, I can taste that.
I can taste the molasses.
The molasses, I think the whiskey that was used, I can taste just a hint of it. Brown sugar. Yeah, I taste the brown sugar.
I don't like dried fruit in baked goods, so that was interesting.
Okay with fruit and baked goods. So.
I couldn't have another bite.
There you go.
I'll take another bite. Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't bad. I'm just it's taking a little second.
I think it tastes like it's how it's supposed to taste.
It tastes like it smells.
So there we go. I don't know if that was a success or not, but I had a lot of fun and it was funny sitting around for like an hour waiting for this to bake going. We're just waiting for this to bake. And I know we are going to have more difficult technical challenges coming up. So I think this is a good starter for me to figure out what the heck am I doing. But if you have tried this Malt Loaf, please tell me how it's supposed to taste. I have no idea if this is correct or not. It looks right. I just don't know if it tastes right because I'm thinking for certain. Prunes, raisins, malts, molasses. It is going to be something that doesn't appeal to everyone. Yeah, but thank you so much for joining me on this new adventure. If you haven't already, hit subscribe so that way we know when we post new videos. And until next time, I'll see y'all soon, y'all.